The other day, I got a YouTube comment from a man called Goran LJ, and he said, Paddy, you should seriously consider doing a deep dive on Muang Thong Tani. I honestly think it's one of the most overlooked areas in Bangkok and nobody else has really covered it properly yet. The place has beautiful lakes, huge open spaces and a completely different vibe compared to central Bangkok. You've got the Impact Arena, you've got massive exhibition halls, international fairs, concerts, stadiums, football. The whole place has an ecosystem of itself. He goes on to say that there's so much potential for storytelling here, local life, events, expat communities, food spots, hidden corners. I really think your style of exploring would bring this area to life in a way that no one else has done yet. Well, thank you Goran, LJ. I got that the other day and it got me thinking, let's go there. Let's test this theory. Let's see if you're right. I'll share with you the accommodation that I've found. We'll go to a football game later with some familiar faces, and we'll just explore this area for the weekend. So thank you so much for the recommendation. It's great to be here. So let's go explore. Okie dokie, welcome to a new area. Just outside of the city of Bangkok, we are here in Muang Thong Tani. And thank you to that gentleman, Goran, in the intro for recommending this place. It did recently come up quite a few times in conversations with my friends as well, including my good friend Bangkok Pat, who told me that he had just himself also made a video in this area. And I think by the time this video comes out, Bangkok Pat's video on this area will also be out. So I'll link it below because knowing Bangkok Pat, I'm sure he'll go into a lot of detail because, well, he's just a better YouTuber, isn't he? Let's be honest. It was quite easy to reach here, to be honest. I just took the green Sukhumvit line and then changed onto the pink. And now we're here. We're about a stone's throw from Don Muang, it's just over there, and you can see the main highway leaving Bangkok heading north towards Ayutthaya and the northern provinces is running right alongside this area. My accommodation selection this week is a little bit different to my usual because in this area, right next to the station, right next to the stadium, right next to the big arenas, are loads of hotels. There's the Ibis, there's a Novotel, and they're really good and really, normally, quite affordable. But because it's a weekend, there's a huge concert on in the Impact Arena. There's like a Korean pop star, and all the girls are already heading over there in their nice outfits and sparkles and all of that. So they'll be having a great night at the concert, no doubt, but it meant that the hotels were all really full. And the only rooms that they had left were really expensive and a bit overpriced. So for that reason, I had a look elsewhere, and on Booking, I found a listing called 55th Avenue or something. And it's in this Muban, which is like a residential area. These are all people's homes. Okay, welcome. Bit of a strange check-in process, to be honest, because it's just a residential house, right? Someone's bought this and then turned it into an accommodation. Downstairs is like a communal area, like a shared living space, and a shared bathroom and a shared kitchen. Second story, there's a couple of people living there, or staying there, I'm not quite sure. And then over here on the third floor is my room. Oh, there is a private bathroom and shower. Okay, so that's good, I don't have to go downstairs. Anyway, nice, comfy flat. It feels like somebody's flat. Almost like an apartment you would find in London or something. We're here for one night over the weekend, and I chose this place because, like I said before, quite a nice looking listing online. Anyway, I'm going to finish unpacking, cool down a bit, use the aircon, because that was quite a sweaty walk across the street. We are now well into March, guys, and March, it is 35, 37 degrees, but it feels like 40, and next month it will only get hotter. So these next few vlogs in my exploration of Thailand, expect me to be Sweating quite a bit. But before we go out and explore, just a quick thank you to Squarespace, my channel sponsor. These guys are the only place to go if you're looking to build a beautiful looking website. And if you're not a website designer, graphic designer or something just like me, don't worry, because you can just choose one of their award-winning templates like I did on my website, and it looks fantastic and it was so easy to make. And even if that sounds too much work, then just use their AI design intelligence. Answer a few simple questions. The AI will then build the website for you. And if you travel like I do and you need to post and update your website, you can using Squarespace's fantastic app. It's never been easier to use Squarespace. And the best part is building the website, trying some of their designs, using the AI. It's completely free. You can build the whole website and it won't even charge you. Only when you're ready to go live should you go to squarespace.com/Paddy Doyle to unlock a 10% discount on your first website or domain. Using the link in the description as well will automatically take you to the correct place. Go build a website for your blog, for your small business, whatever it is that you need a website for. I've seen on Google Maps there's a few big open spaces, a few lakes and a few parks. So I'm going to jump on a little motorbike taxi and whiz around to the nearest one and just sort of enjoy a little bit of, hopefully, nice nature, open space. It's a beautiful day out there today, so let's go explore. This is something very unique and very special to Thailand. You would never find this in suburban areas in the UK or maybe somewhere else. Let me know in the comments. But as you've seen, my accommodation is on the 3rd story of someone's private residence, okay? So I haven't met them, but I could hear them knocking about. And just here, on a normal street here in suburbia, where all these lovely houses and families and people live, one person has converted their entire house into a coffee shop. It's called Mitte Coffee, and they've painted their entire house black, and they've turned the entire ground floor into a nice coffee shop. The coffee was delicious, and there were people in there working and people having a cake and doing all cafe related activities. But in the UK, where I come from, residential zoning and commercial zoning are very strict. It's black and white. You're not allowed to turn your house into a business. Everybody would complain. But here in Thailand, you can turn your upstairs apartment into a flat or a hotel. You can turn your entire house into a cafe, and nobody seems to bat an eyelid. And the reason why I think in Thailand you're allowed to do stuff like this is because the society, the culture here is so ingrained in respect that people are just respectful of other people's wishes. And as long as everyone follows the rules, stays quiet, respectful, you know, the coffee shop's not causing a racket or causing issues with parking, and you know, it's providing a service to this local Muang. You know, people can go to a nice coffee shop and they don't have to go into town. They can just go to their neighbour's house across the street. Thai people will respect you and allow you to do stuff without complaining, because there's a mutual respect ingrained so deeply in the culture here. So this is the concert I was telling you guys about. Silhouette. I think that's the name of that singer. And I think he's Korean or something. And there's quite a lot of fans here already, even though the concert won't start till 7 p.m. tonight. But down here, by the Pink Line BTS, there's a huge arena, like a convention hall. And then right next to it is this building here, which seems to be the stadium itself. And all the girls are taking nice pictures. They're all dressed up. It reminds me a little bit of when me and Miss P went to go see Taylor Swift in Singapore. It was very exciting times. Let's go have a little closer look at this magnificent looking building. I've got to come here for a concert, but I'm just waiting for a band that I like to come to Bangkok. So Red Hot Chili Peppers, Arctic Monkeys, Oasis. If you're listening, if you're watching, come play here. I'll buy a ticket. This concert, of course, is the reason why accommodation was all full or very expensive around this area. Because a lot of these fans would have come from other parts of Thailand, other parts of Asia, flown in especially for their favorite artist, and then they want to stay nearby, obviously. It was really cool. They've got all these little photo booths set up and people can take pictures. There's KFC and food and drinks. It's quite interesting. What these artists do, which is a bit different to Western artists, is for an extra cost, you can actually take photographs with them, like meet and greets. It's very, very expensive. I was looking online. I think it was 15,000 baht to come to the concert, have a good seat, and meet the artist and take a picture. Which, if you're a super fan, that's actually not a bad deal. In fact, they're just opening the queue now for all the people who've paid all that money to go take a photograph. They're all getting ready to go in now. Look how many people have paid for the VVIP experience. If I was a singer and I was going to do a concert with 20,000 people coming, I would probably try and get some extra revenue as well. Like, oh, if you want to take a picture with me, you can. At 1 o'clock, after sound check, I'll meet you at the back of the stadium and you can just pay me an extra couple hundred quid. Amongst all of these glass towers, skyscrapers, office buildings, government buildings, banks, of course, this would not be a Thai neighborhood without its dedicated mall. And Muang Thong Tani is no exception to the rule. This is Cosmo, a huge indoor-outdoor mall area, and it has one of the largest food courts I've ever seen. So let me take you in and we'll get some lunch. This is a gargantuan sized food court. And I did the same thing that I do every time I go to a food court, and that is find the one stall that doesn't have a queue and order whatever they sell, which just so happened to be pork knuckle and stewed meat of some kind, rice, sauce, veggies, eggs, and a lot of fat and collagen. Honestly, this is one of the biggest food courts I've ever seen. I've already messaged Gary and I've told him if you ever wanted to do the ultimate food court video, to come and do a whole video down here, because it is just massive. It goes on and it goes on, and there's different sections and different cuisines. And this was 70 bahts and the Coke was 15. So under $3 for a great lunch with lots of protein, carbs. And of course, we're using the aircon because it's a bloody hot one today, guys. It's a bloody hot one. Well, isn't this lovely? There's a huge park with a massive lake in the middle and a running track that goes all the way around, and it's lined with trees. There's a really gorgeous Art Nouveau style clock tower, and it just seems like a pleasant place to come for a walk. We are going to go to the football in a bit, but I think I might enjoy the afternoon here before I go meet up with the guys and we have a few beers and watch the football. Also, driving here on the motorbike made me appreciate this is a very open, spread out neighborhood. Lots of open space, gardens, big houses, big condominium projects. It would be very affordable. Plus, you've got the convenience of the MRT and the highways going into town. I think this area would be perfect for people who want to be connected to Bangkok, but want affordability and a bit of peace and quiet in comparison to the big, crazy city. Oh, look at the size of this fish. Can you see it? It's trying to hide, but I can see it. This is a place I haven't seen a single foreigner all day. I think it's not a trendy, known area. I'm in a bit of a strange limbo type situation within my life, in my private life and with the channel. You might have noticed I'm not on my big bike. We're not going out on Zelda touring the country at the minute. We're not going on any big next level adventures, international trips, hiking trips. Nothing really to report other than just a few videos sprinkled around Bangkok and surrounding neighborhoods recently. And the main reason is, as some of you might know, I bought a condo with my fiance, who we're getting married next week, and we're renovating the condo. So there's so many things going on in the background, and so I need to be based in Bangkok for a while. And the friends and family coming, the wedding, the vacation afterwards to Cosmo Mall, the purchase of the condo took a long time. The renovations are ongoing. In fact, just off camera, I spent an hour talking to Miss P because we just got a spreadsheet come through with the budget breakdown of the renovation costs, and it's double the budget that we told them, and so that's put a big stress on the whole thing. There's so many things that are happening behind the camera, which means I can't really venture too far away. So when I got that comment come through the other day, I thought, this is perfect. If you're a foreigner and you live in this area, you're probably panicking right now, like, oh no, Paddy's making a video about our area, he's going to ruin it. Relax. Relax. It's just a quick little cute video about a weekend up here, what's it like, and going to the football. And a few people watching this will go, oh, let's stay there next time. Or, oh, we're going to have a look for a condo in that area because that looks right up our alley. That's nice, isn't it? Just a speaker playing nice music while you go for your afternoon walk or bike ride. For those who don't know, if you're new to the channel, I've visited every single province in Thailand. I've probably told you 100 times if you've been here for a while. It's not like I like to tell everybody, but it's true. And because I've been to every single province, from the north all the way to Isan, all the way south to Yala, inside and out, back to front, and some of these provinces many times, sometimes a dozen times, okay? My favorite ones I keep going back to, obviously. But coming to these districts outside of Bangkok, just super close to it, it really gives me like an added layer of experience and exposure to this country, because Bangkok's a big, massive metropolis, which is super intimidating to most people who come here for the first time especially. It's hot, it's fast, it can be polluted, it can be noisy, it can be dirty. But on the majority, in the most part, Bangkok is an incredible place. And coming to these little areas, these unknown, unvisited, non-touristy, no pretentious, it's not trying to be anything. It's just a place where people live and commute to work. This is suburbia Bangkok style. And just like anywhere else in this country, according to me, it's peaceful, it's calm, seems very safe. Everyone's having a good life, people are active, people are with their friends and their family, they're on dates. It's just the same utopia you get in other parts of this country, and it's just another reason why I love this country so much, and I'm so privileged to call it home. I don't know if you've ever seen this sport before, and apologies, I don't know the name, but I've only ever seen this being played in Thailand and in Myanmar. And basically, you've got to kick this rubber ball into the circular nets that are hanging about 7 meters above your head, and you've got to stay within the blue circle. And usually there's a few of you, like 4 or 5, but this time it's just these 2 old gentlemen, and they're trying their best to get it up into the air and into the net without leaving the circle. It's really cool. It's such a cool place. Look at this. You see these kind of things all over Thailand, right? The council will build these beautiful parks and have all this free gym equipment that's like made of really nice metal and materials, and people can come and use them for free. Okay, it's a public park, and the gym equipment, the pull-up bars, everything, they all work, they're all oiled, they're all clean, and they're all working, and they're all free. And I think to myself, why don't we do this back in the UK? But you know, if we did, if the government or the council built and installed free gym equipment like this, I'm sad to say, but people would just trash it. They would graffiti it, they would break it, they would draw big dicks on it, paint it, spit on it. It would be just a complete waste. But here in Thailand, we can get nice things because everyone's really nice and everyone respects everyone and everything, and you can enjoy coming down here and doing a bike or doing whatever she's doing or whatever this is. It looks like something you would make pasta out of. But no, this is some kind of machine that it's like a calf machine. So you put your calves on here, you sit there, and it's so cool. I mean, look at the design. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. Here's another fun thing about Thailand, right? Free aerobics. They do this all over the place. You just turn up. I think you give them 20 baht at the end or something as a thank you. And he'll give you free aerobic class every afternoon in most parks. See, if they were doing that in the UK, there would be a big group of teenagers hurling abuse at them. I mean, it's funny, but it's sadly true. And you know it. If you live in the UK, you know 16-year-olds would not allow that to happen without some kind of verbal abuse being thrown at those people. In Thailand, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. And because of that, you get stuff like this. Even the football cages for the boys, they're all playing in there. That's all free. And then look at the architecture and the design. Like, it's just free exercise, free facilities, in exchange for don't ruin it, take care of it, and you'll enjoy it. And everybody here clearly is loving it. There are some really nice houses on the way to the park, like big mansions. And you know you're in an affluent area, right? When somebody's missing cat has a 100,000 baht reward. I mean, if you ask me, we can make a whole weekend out of trying to find this cat. Because if we can get 100,000 baht, that'll pay for my new kitchen. Right, look who's here.
Oh yeah.
Gary's here. We have just escaped the ultras.
That was hairy, wasn't
There's loads of police here, by the way. But I think it's pretty friendly. But I didn't want to get too close.
The 360 on his camera and his helmet.
We were walking past and they were throwing flying flags, throwing firecrackers, giving it the big one. But we are just here. We come in peace, okay? Even though I am wearing the opposing team's shirt. Port FC, come on, son. Anyway, Gary, have you ever been to a Premier League football game before?
I've never been to a football match in Thailand before in my life, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's fun. And I've got tickets here, 220 baht. And I've had a little look in the stadium. It's like, there's no athletics track or anything, you're right on the pitch. It's like a proper championship Division 1 league stadium, like English style. Okay, this is quite funny, right? So as we were going in, we gave them our tickets and they looked at me wearing my shirt, right? And they said that, no, your tickets are in the home end. And we said, okay, and they went, well, you can't wear that for your own safety.
It's a bit spicy in this stand.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, we weren't allowed in with me wearing this shirt, so we went into the club shop. I've already changed my alliances immediately, just so I could get in. I should have, in retrospect, bought tickets in the away end with the team, but you know, I don't really support them really. They're my local team, and I'll go watch them once in a while, but I didn't think they wouldn't let us in. I thought this is Thailand and it's all safe, but because it's a derby. But look around, like, look at the people around us. They all seem really lovely. I don't think they would give two shits.
Exactly.
But anyway, Gary, what do you think of the stadium?
I like it. It reminds me of like a really old school UK stadium.
Yeah.
What were we saying before? Craven Cottage a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, or the Den.
The Den. Highbury vibes. I like it. That's a clock it.
Yeah.
It's like my first game, but I love it. Nice little atmosphere, everyone's in a good mood.
And we're right behind the managers, like we're literally in front of the dugout.
We can throw some real abuse around if I need to.
Anyway, I'll share some footage of the match and just share with you the scenes here in Muang Thong Tani. And if we have a few drinks and we get a little bit leery, I'll start.
As soon as Port FC goal goes in, we're putting this back on.
So, Muang Thong Tani versus Port FC, the local Bangkok derby. How was the game? Well, the atmosphere was fantastic. From the ultras singing and banging their drums and waving their flags the entire 90 minutes, to the other side of the stadium where the Port FC fans were singing and cheering their team on, the atmosphere was fantastic. As for the football, well, it was awful. It was a really bad game, to be fair. Not the best game for me to show Gary for his first football game in Thailand. There was just very few chances, very few shots, not very good quality, and after 90 minutes, the score was 0-0. Not quite the big finale I was hoping for, but to be fair, we had a great time having a few drinks and enjoying the atmosphere at the match. I really enjoyed my weekend up here in Muang Thong Tani. I definitely will be coming back. It's a fantastic suburb. It's a beautiful, relaxing place, somewhere I would imagine maybe moving to in the future if I ever have a few kids and I grow out of our condo in Bangkok. I'd love to live up here. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you very soon.